सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेषताजाड्यापः निशेषताजाड्यापः निशेषताजाड्यापः.
He is an advisor on brand strategy. He helps companies evolve their branding and marketing strategies, not just in the United States, but all over the world. So he's very well known in Europe, does a lot of work in Asia. So he's an international global brand guru. He is the CEO and director of the Medinge Group, an international think tank on brand strategies.
Stanley will be talking about two things. In the first part of his speech, he'll share with you his basic ideas about branding, what really constitutes a brand and the components of a brand, and that should help everyone, including our students as well as the distinguished guests from various institutions, corporates and media members, understand the first part of what brands are. And then he will gradually move on to the new area which he is working on, which is quiet brands. Applause, welcome Professor Stanley Moss.
Sir, please. Okay, can you all hear me? Yes, good morning, Protons. Good morning, sir. Well, thank you, Chief Mentor, distinguished faculty, guests, and all you great Protons out there. It's great to be back in India. It's great to be back at the school and to see the evolution of the school in 1 year and to be a participant in this magnificent educational experiment. So I want to begin by talking about branding as I understand it, and I'm going to give you an overview. Some of you saw some of this material earlier, but this is an accumulation of what I know to be the viable ideas in play now about branding. There. This is the Alhambra in Granada, Spain. And this is a place that is recognizable by the architecture. But it also is, it shows you that a place can be rendered iconic. So that this is a very early idea of a place brand. But the problem starts to surface here in the time of Gutenberg, when literacy becomes much more widespread. And this is where we begin to see a little bit more understanding. People become much more literate. They're not just getting their information from the walls of churches in Europe. I'm speaking about the Western world. This is where I come from. This is where this is what I understand. But at the time of Johannes Gutenberg, people were beginning to look farther beyond, and technology is beginning to come into their lives. Turn it off, she's gone. You turn it on, 5 hours later, she's dancing again. In fact, it's the same dance. Anyway, also notice that it's got the words TV, music, television, and the large iconic M. So now we've got this idea of the internet. And this is a lot different because now I can watch on demand whatever I want. I can watch it again if I want to. If I want to put something up of my own kind of entertainment, I can do that. And it addresses me. It says you're being marketed to. And if you don't think you're being marketed to, look at the name of this again. It's saying that you are the television, or you are the medium of kinetic entertainment. And it allows you to program your own kind of entertainment. This is very interesting, and also this is the dawn of the internet, internet-driven communications. Now, we have this dawn of social networking. We have this marvelous thing where you can build these vast social networks of friends. And this very medium was used to elect an American president a year ago. It was the mobilization of people using the internet. And it was a brand like this that enabled Barack Obama to become the president of the United States. And more recently, we now are into the era of disposable interactive communications. You only have 160 characters. It's only up for 7 days. It's true, it's false, it's bogus, it's valid. There's so much of it. The numbers on this are phenomenal. Am I correct in hearing that 600 million tweets go a day? internationally. I mean, and it's increasing. During the Mumbai siege last year, I had Twitter, a live feed on my screen, and I watched all of the reporting going by. And I'm trying to make sense of what I'm seeing. And it largely garbage. Most of it absolutely worthless. Some of it ultimately verified, conjecture. So this is an age of disposable communications. And this is something I caution you to be very, very careful. But I think that your generation is good at this. You're good at, you have really good truth filters because you are so acclimated to medium like this. It's just been too much. And so really, the sequence of what we see is, we see people beginning to unbrand. The ideal would be to debrand, and ultimately to live in a world of quiet brands. And that's what I submit to you is the next chapter of my work, is how to figure out how to bring the integrity back into the brand, how to do the right thing, how to judge me by my action and my product quality, and not to judge me by my extreme claims. A world where really we don't need brands. We just have a direct one-to-one relationship with the products and services that organizations create. And I say thank you very much.
How should they brand? Locally, first of all. And like you mentioned about soul searching and some of those issues. So is it true that from the very starting we should go for quiet branding? Because that won't yield
I'm
results.
doing it, but I'm an established professional. All right, you asked two questions. First of all, you asked about the launch of a new venture. And then second, you asked about, should we be quiet branding?
Initially, it's
I'm gonna take the position that anybody who's branding should try and be as quiet as possible. That's my assertion. I'm living the brand myself. I already have a very quiet web presence, and it's going to be quieter very soon. I am softening my tone. A new venture going into the marketplace, tips for new ventures. Well, I think you have to first of all be very, very clear about who and what you are and what you stand for, and go through a checklist, maybe based on the Branding 101 presentation I gave, and try and ask yourself the relevant questions to your particular product or category. That in many ways will help you to shape your brand strategy at launch. You remember what I said, that you need a business strategy before you can craft an effective brand strategy. One, the brand does not precede the business. The business precedes the brand in a strategic approach. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.